Hi Anshul, how are you?
I'm good, Shubham. How are you?
I'm good as well. Perfect. Firstly, actually, happy Independence Day to you and to everyone.
Happy Independence Day to you, Shubham.
Perfect.
And happy Independence Day to everyone who's watching it right now.
Thank you. So, guys, actually, if I talk about Anshul, because again, before I start, because I don't want to give same introduction because it's actually the similar introduction. Again, we have been friends for a long time. But the thing is that Anshul specifically asked me I should not repeat those similar statements at the initials. So I would not go into the nitty gritties how we met and how close we are. But yes, been friends for a long time. So, I mean, I'll tell you one thing about Anshul that he was earlier a part of the extracurricular activities in the school as well. He continued that thing in the college, which is a good part. And I think we should try to do that. The second part is he used to play the basketball in school as well. And actually, he continued to do that in college as well. So it's not just studies that he was involved to, because he was involved in these extracurricular activities, and which is a great thing. And I think you all should also do that. This is actually a brief introduction from my side regards Anshul. I would actually now request Anshul to, himself to give a brief introduction about himself. Yes, Anshul, please.
Thanks, Shubham. Thanks. It is really nice to hear such things from you. But anyways, so first of all, since you started this YouTube channel, no one has introduced you. So first, let me introduce you. So Shubham, when you started this YouTube channel, Safaya with Sunday, so I have stopped watching YouTube. I even uninstalled YouTube. Just kidding. But seriously, I really appreciate what you are doing. See, it is really a good thing to do because I know most of our seniors won't relate to these videos. But anyone who's in their initial college days or in third year, fourth year, when this career things, these placements start hitting you and you have nothing, so what to do? Then you reach out to your seniors, bhaiya kya karu and stuff. So that time when you see these videos, you actually get a lot of, you calm yourself, you get motivated. And that's actually, if in case we'll just through a video help anyone, so that is actually a nice way. So I should say you're doing a really great job.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you. Anshul, just a brief introduction about yourself, about Petrofac, anything, any basic idea.
So yeah, so basically I've done my bachelor's in electronics and telecommunication from Mumbai University from a college, Father Rodrigues, also known as Father Agnes Vashi.
Also known as the jail in Vashi, if I'm not.
Yeah, Central Jail of Vashi. It is quite famous. And it
Perfect.
actually is. So then I had joined Petrofac in 2019. So today I guess it has been more than 24 months now in Petrofac. And in Petrofac, I have been working on a couple of profiles. One as a telecom design engineer. Then I have worked in supply chain as a project procurement, and also in few days in business function in finance department.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So, Anshul, basically, as per my experience, when we used to apply during these college days, we had two categories. One was basically trying through on campus, where companies used to come to our campus, and the second was basically off campus. We used to try for referrals or asking companies for referrals. So, how did you yourself land into that specific interview place?
So yes, for Petrofac, there was a completely different path. So
Okay.
there was a global development program that was started by Petrofac in 2019, and part of means through the process of which I joined Petrofac. It is similar to our campus placement process. You have your apps and stuff, but it is completely online and through their channels. So once you clear all these things, then you end up in an interview. It could be through video or voice, but my interview was physically in their office. So I was interviewed in Petrofac Mumbai in their Powai branch.
Okay.
So it
So,
was through a
any
graduate
any
development.
okay. So, like are all the colleges involved in this specific program, or I mean, does it happen to
No, no. For this graduate development program that mostly many companies take up these days,
okay.
so they have specific list of colleges. So you have to make sure that you are from one of those colleges that are there. Once you are there, then the process is similar for all other grads who are applying for it.
Okay, perfect. So okay, now now the next question, actually the continuing question would be, how was your specific interview experience? Could you just give a brief about how the interview experience you had?
Yeah, so it was actually a completely technical interview. It was 1.5 hour.
Okay.
So I had done, like, most first thing that they ask you in an interview is tell us something about yourself. So
Mhm.
once you start speaking about yourself, the questions start coming to you. So I had, through my engineering, I had done a couple of internships. Like per semester, I used to get one. Whether it made sense or not, I just had to do. So I've done internships in digital marketing. I have done internship in BSNL, Doordarshan, Power Grid. So once my introduction started, so I spoke about my internship. Then once I spoke about Power Grid, so that interviewing officer was very interested. Okay, Power Grid, what have you done in Power Grid? So then I started speaking about what all projects I have done, what all things we used to do. And Petrofac and Power Grid, the work that I did at Power Grid was quite similar to the work that Petrofac usually do. So
Okay.
basically, in Power Grid, I was laying cables, optical fiber cables, checking for fault, repairing if there is. So Petrofac is I will say, a construction company. So as a telecom, you this is your role. You have to lay cables. You should know the specifications. You should know about the CCTV cameras, Paga system, that is your speakers, access control system, a lot about. But I just had a knowledge about fibers. That is a major part of the role that I am doing currently. So they started asking me questions about, okay, fibers, tell me these specifications of fibers. And these specification you will not find in books. At least what we study for exam, you will never read it. Once you have worked on fibers, then you only know. So they started asking me about fibers, different type, length, how do you lay it, what in case there is a fault, how do you repair it, how much time does it take to fix it, signal strength, all the basics that anyone, if anyone has to answer those questions, he should have a practical knowledge of that.
Okay.
So my interview revolved around, I guess, 40 to 50 minutes around those fibers only.
Okay.
So for anyone who is trying to get into Petrofac as a telecom, with a telecom background, so he should make sure that he has a good knowledge about optical fibers, then even
Mhm.
CCTV cameras, telephones.
Okay.
So
So
that was, yeah.
okay. So, I mean, so as you told about, those internships might help someone as it had helped you. So when I talk about, because see, I know, and I'll actually tell the viewers as well that you were in the Father Agnel team of the social cell basically, and you were also involved in the basketball team because you were captain of the basketball team. So, how did these extracurricular activities help you, either for selecting your resume or while during your interview, or did they even affect?
Yeah, they have a major impact on you. Not only, I'll say, for the resume point of view or for your interview process, but it has a major impact on your overall personality. Like, okay, I used to play basketball, but that doesn't mean I used to go to court and play and come back. When you're once you're in court, you may find new friends daily. You may find people from different
Different,
areas, different
correct.
age groups, and you get to know, you learn from them, and you start building up your connections. And once you are, I guess, out of school, so this thing should, you should make in mind that you should start building connection. So Agnel Social Cell, we used to work a lot for social causes, maybe on this smaller scale, but that broadens your vision, that helps you connect with people, that helps you learn even communication skills or your personality development. You know how to what we say, arrange a event. So these
Correct.
things definitely work. And coming to interview point of view, yes, anyone will ask you what you have done apart from your engineering studies in your portfolio. So
Mhm.
then you can speak. If you've done anything, you can speak. If you have not done so, you you don't have to be the average guy there. Like,
Yeah,
okay, I
correct.
used to study 8 to 5,
Yeah,
then I was back in.
correct.
You need to have something to speak.
Correct.
So yeah,
Perfect.
things helped a lot and still helping me.
Perfect. Perfect. So basically, my next point would be basically Petrofac is a god level company for me. Why I'll say that? Because I was in a college where instrumentation department is highly reputed in my college. So the thing is that Petrofac is considered as a dream company for our college as well. But that is for basically the instrumentation department. And because as we know that you are in electronics and telecommunication graduate, so how is the difference between the two job roles of instrumentation or with regards to an EXTC engineer? Or and let's say, like, continuing to that question, what recommendations would you give for, let's say, if you are interviewing someone? So I mean, what would you ask for while you are interviewing for the, let's say, instrumentation or the telecom department?
Okay. So first, yeah, dream company. Even when I was in college, I also used to hear that Petrofac is a dream company. So that is there, that instrumentation for your colleges and for even for other branches, core disciplines, because Petrofac, there is a huge scope for these departments like instrumentation, electrical, civil, mechanical. But for Petrofac, it doesn't have much scope, but it has a decent amount of scope in it. And coming to the job that I am doing, or an instrumentation guy, would be quite similar. Like, as a telecom design engineer, I will be working on cables, CCTV cameras, designing that how should we lay. And coming to an if an instrument designer would be there, he would be working on control valves, butterfly valves, like how do we put them, or how do we design our pipelines and stuff, PNID. So it is mostly design profile that we both will be working, but it is like I will be specific to telecom, he will be specific to instrumentation, and other guy will be specific to electrical. So roles are quite similar, work profile is quite of similar, but the only difference is it is specific to your department.
Okay.
And the other question that you said, that what would I suggest, or what would come in my mind if I am interviewing someone. So rather answering that, I'll answer you first. Like, the what mistakes I did when I applied for Petrofac or when I
Okay.
went for the interview.
Okay. Okay.
The first mistake that I regret, and even still I regret, is that I didn't studied well for this company. Means I studied well what I have done. I studied my resume, but I didn't study, or I didn't background check the
Mhm.
Petrofac as an EPC. What does this do? Okay, I
Okay.
read the website. Okay, it is EPC.
And
EPC is engineering procurement
uh,
construction company.
okay. Okay. If so, if I may,
Yeah.
what do you mean by EPC? Now that you're already telling.
Okay. So okay, yeah. So EPC is basically a construction company that actually construct like anything. Petrofac constructs a complete oil plant. So before constructing, we do a detail engineering of it. What things we need, how much in bulk we need, how we'll design, and everything that is done on your computers. Then once engineering is complete, we move to procurement. We start procuring these items from different part of the world. And once
Mhm.
it is all procured, we start our construction. So that's why, to just not only construction, but it also does the engineering procurement part. That is an EPC. So I read it is an EPC company without having an idea what actually an EPC is. And I
Okay.
don't know why I didn't even bother to check what an EPC is. Okay, Petrofac, EPC, oil and gas background. That's
Mhm.
it. Even I told my cousins, elders that, oh, I'm going for a company interview. Is Petrofac, which is in oil and gas. Their first reaction was, you're a telecom guy and what you will do in oil and gas. I had no idea, but I still said, okay, let's see. So when I moved to interview, after in between, he asked me, "Do you know Petrofac is an EPC company?" I had read it online. Yes, sir. I was like, "Yes, sir. I know it is an oil and EPC company in oil and gas industry." So he was like, "Okay." So I was confident. Okay, I know it's an oil and gas industry EPC. So then he said, you know, as a telecom design engineer, what will be you working? So then, no, I don't know, but I'm a telecom design engineer. I have done my 4 years of bachelor's. So I started making answers that, okay, from my engineering,
like
embedded
the
systems.
Viva answer that we give.
No, not only the Viva answer, but I was just telling them, okay, I will be working on sites. I will be automating machines. I will be checking if the connection is overall connected, is plant overall connected, and stuff like that. You know what a telecom guy you expect a telecom role will be. And that was the stupid and dumbest answer I have said to anyone. And he smiled at me. He said, nothing like that. So then I was like, okay. Uh, I told them then, okay, I felt that I would be doing some similar stuff, but I'm not sure. Could you tell me what will I be working on? So then he explained, like I told you, telecom design, you have to lay cables. It's a construction site. So you have to make sure how all telecom equipments are settled and fixed there. So then I was like, okay. So one tip, not only for Petrofac, it's throughout whichever company you are giving, big, small, any company, just read thorough about it. Read about the company. Read about the roles that you are applying. Okay, maybe associate something. Just read what this associate means. You just don't have to start making up stories. Okay, I'm a telecom, so I will be, or I'm an electrical, I'll be fixing cables. No, just read about this. Maybe you'll just have to sit and do the calculations.
Okay.
So not only about the company, about the role. Just read. That was the biggest mistake I did. But I say don't do that. Be thorough about the profile. Ask someone. Ask someone if you're not able to uh, means understand what this profile. Ask someone. So
Perfect.
that is what you can do.
Perfect. So, can you just give us a brief about the kind of profiles that one can get into Petrofac? Because, see, I mean, you also, and we both know that Petrofac is a big firm. They are not specific to a specific domain, and you already explained the EPC part. So, what kind of profiles that one can get into, be it instrumentation engineer, EXTC engineer, actually any bachelor's profile for that matter.
Okay, so there are actually couple of profiles. Means most. I'll just tell you the ones with whom I am familiar.
Mhm.
One is the telecom design engineer that I already spoke. Then comes supply chain. In
Okay.
supply chain, you have logistic engineer, procurement engineer,
Mhm.
bid engineer, estimation engineer. So
Okay.
supply chain as a whole. Then you have other means in companies like Profac, it doesn't matter that you are a telecom background, so you can have to only look after telecom things. You can work in business function also. You can take care of finances
Okay.
because in a project, if you're like holding, I'm working on a Thai oil project in Thailand.
Mhm.
So okay, designing part is there. I'm working on it, design everything. Okay, that is fine, but I can also work on in supply chain for the procurement of equipments. Like I have to procure
Mhm.
CCTVs or Paga system. So I can work on it as well. Or I can work in business function as a finance, looking the project finance, how much budget is of telecom.
Mhm.
So there are a number of roles that you can
One can get into.
yeah, yeah. Currently, this one sustainability team that
Okay.
I am working, that is
Mhm.
something related to carbon emissions of a company. That
Okay.
isn't related, that I don't have a background about it. But
Mhm.
I had an option to work, I'm working on it. And you can learn anything. You don't have to be specific to something. Don't have to study chemical engineering. Yeah, there is obviously masters. You have
Mhm.
to be a master of
Correct.
something. But
Correct.
still, if you find something of your interest, you can work.
Perfect.
There are a couple, yeah.
Perfect. So, actually, I mean, I'll just actually tell the viewers as well. So, Anshul has worked for the UAE team of Petrofac as well. He was there, so I can call Anshul an NRI as well if I had to. So, as you have been
No, no.
working for the
Today's Independence Day, so Indian.
sure, sure, sure. But yeah, so you've been working with the UAE branch as well. So, I mean, how different is the work culture if I compare India and UAE? Because you've been working for both the countries.
So work culture, obviously, like, or it is obviously expected answer that in UAE the work culture was chill. That doesn't mean you don't have to work. It is like you're given a particular task, you are responsible for the whole thing. They will not ask you after an hour, give me the update, or they will not check you after day after. They give you a week's time. You don't work for 4 days. You just sit, complete one line, and finish that work. So
Okay.
it's up to you. You have to honor
Just
those deadlines.
just like we used to
Yes,
in the engineering.
yeah, engineering, yeah. But it's like people honor those deadlines. It's not like, okay, I have given a week's time. I'm not able to finish. Then on Thursday, if I had to submit a remote, maybe I'll write an email in the Wednesday evening that I'm not able to finish. That is not how things are there.
Okay.
In India, it's like you have to finish a task, then you have to get approvals, a lot of things. Then micromanagement in India is more. Even everyone will face that. In UAE, there was no micromanagement, and the actually that's those things actually help you learn. So
Okay.
I remember I was working in Sharjah in UAE in supply chain procurement. So initially for a month I was assisting someone with a senior guy. So I understood, you get the work, okay, I can. So after a month round, they gave me a complete proposal. Say, okay, you work, and it was from Russia. So it was my work. I had, I guess, what, 1 month experience? No, nothing. I used to study. I used to check with. I used to take help. I used to sit late in the evenings to gather information how what will be coming up next. So I guess within 1 month, next 1 month, I was good at. I was easily handling everything, and I was doing very well because that it comes to you. If I say, okay, Shubham, you have to do this particular task, and you are your manager, so you
Correct.
obviously you will take the responsibility, everything you will take, and no disturbance, nothing. After a week, I'll come and Shubham, give me the status. So
Correct.
you will be more confident, present, rather than
Correct.
if I'll keep on asking you daily, Shubham, what's the
Correct.
status? Have you done
Correct.
this? So micromanagement thing is not there.
Perfect.
And other
I,
thing is, okay, in yeah.
so I mean, basically, you're given the free hand so that you only do the part, and once hopefully when you're, let's say, you're done within a week, and then you can just give an update. Okay, now it's done, and we can move to the next thing. Perfect.
Yeah,
Actually, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Hopefully.
that's actually a good thing.
Uh-huh.
That is actually because I what I have figured out is like in India, if someone is giving you a task, he will tell you what to do. But if someone is saying this job has to be done, you make your own ways and you start working on it.
Correct.
So, okay, anyways.
Perfect. I think actually, Anshul, I'm actually done with most of my questions that I had. So the last point would be basically because I've started this series in channel, so because there might be people out there who would be trying to get into Petrofac and might have some questions or would require some kind of referral. So would you be willing to give them the referral or any interview tips if you?
Eh,
Perfect.
sure, anytime. Not only specific to my domain only. I'm saying EPC or I, any domain. Like I may not help you with technical questions, but maybe yeah, HR questions or your way of speaking or your something related to your uh, personality throughout the interview or resume tips. Those I can help. Even if someone is struggling with or someone felt like reaching me out anytime, they can reach me, and I will
Perfect.
surely help them out.
Perfect. Any and because so I'll be mentioning your LinkedIn profile in the description section as well. Other than that, because people can reach out from the comment section or message you over the LinkedIn. Other than that, any final a single final the basically that you can ask people or you can tell people that you should do this while you are getting your interview for Petrofac or basically trying to get in.
Any company.
Yeah, any company for that matter.
So yes, yeah. I'll make it a generic answer.
Mhm.
So first of all, don't starting when we enter, we have a set. Okay, I need to get this job. I need to get placement. Don't just enter with that mindset. Just enter that I have to learn. Once you have skill, there are people who will hire you. If you don't have those skill set, no one will hire you. So make sure you learn. Like I told you, I had done couple of internship, like every semester, more than 8 internships. So
Nice.
I told you that some of them make sense, some of them don't. So also don't stick to my answers or some other. You have seen a couple of other interviews, don't stick to them. Okay, he did this, or his resume was like this, or he answered like this, so I'll also do like this and I will get it. No, that's completely wrong. Listen to, take feedback, listen to everyone, make your own strategies, make your own ways of, you know what I say, success. Make things that will work for you. So don't just
Correct.
blindly follow anyone. Make
Correct.
your own path, make your own points and work on them. And definitely it's just a matter of, I guess, 30 minutes in which you make it or make no, you won't make it. So chill, relax, enjoy. There's nothing else I can say.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anshul. Once again, happy Independence to you, your family, and everyone who's watching this. And thank you so much for being interviewed for the channel.
Thanks, Shubham. It's my pleasure to be here. And yes, happy Independence Day to everyone out there. Jai Hind. Thank you.